Alrighty, good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. We've got a whole great lineup here. Harry Glanz is on the Zoomcast. Hey, Harry, good morning. All right, Harry, good morning to you, sir. And the sun is shining behind us. Lisa Lawson. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? All right, we got our Capital Mortgage staff all together. We bring on, of course, none other than Mike Tomczyk, Paramount Appraisals, to have a state licensed appraiser. He's the guy we always bring on. You might see him around the lakes and all these mansions. He's the guy who does those. He's the one who does all these appraisals and for the mansions all around the lakes area. Good morning, Mike Tomczyk. All right, I'm going to get that straight. All right. Make sure we keep everything straight here. Hey, gorgeous day outside, 10/17, always halfway through this October month. It's been a spectacular month already. We're going to talk about mortgages and real estate, and it's a live show. So if you want to talk to the appraiser, 248-539-9797. Somewhere in today's show, Mike, I wrote about 4 to 7 different things that some families can do to really spruce up the house, maybe pull the wool over your eyes a little bit, or some of the guys that are to show that, hey, this house really is worth what these people are overbidding on. So we're going to talk all about what's going on in today's market. Harry, we have a lot of moving parts. Appraisals are a big key, the collateral. That's what we do for a living. Tell us a little bit, Harry, of what's going on in today's marketplace with that.
Most likely they are not. I will tell you flat out, I'm at about an 80% clip where the value of the home will come in less than the purchase price. But there is a little caveat there. It's because we don't do forecasting with appraisals. We do retro. So we're using sales that have already occurred and the prices are going up. So will the prices catch up? Probably to what the purchase prices are. But the appraisal values as they are typically coming in less than the buyers are buying homes for.
I like that.
Yeah. That is correct, because I'm using sales that have already occurred. And although they're increasing, I'm using something from back in time that has already happened. So yes, that's correct. Lagging is a good word for it. Yeah.
Mike, you might even be using appraisals that or homes that sold in May or June of this year, maybe even some that sold in April just recently. So maybe they, like you said, they didn't get that crazy wildfire where the prices went up this summer, maybe an additional 6%.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. I also, real quick, while it's on my mind, I'm saying it. The people that are refinancing right now, they're loving life, okay? Because their values are coming in at something that is making them very happy. Just make sure we point that out as well, because I'm getting a lot of refinances right now, and it seems that people are pretty pleased with what they're seeing there.
That's for sure. Lisa Lawson, cash out refinances. Man, we are jam packed with those. Of course, all-time low interest rates. And what Mike's saying is now a lot of families are really reaching out, and he's finding that more and more refinance transactions are coming through. Hey, use that equity in your house to pay off other debts. Yeah, this household values with people own $26.1 trillion. Home values have gone just gangbusters over the last couple of years. Of course, we think we're on probably about a 7-year winning streak here. As anyone who's bought a house 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 years ago, you definitely made a good purchase because everything around you has been going up in value. This year, we're looking at a between 5 and 7% increase in appreciation across the board. Of course, your region does matter here. Michigan's very hot. Even up north is starting to catch up. Mike, you might even see some of the outlying areas that was going on out there. Mike, are you getting a little bit more west as you've been, generally Oakland County and the Tri-County area? Do you find yourself reaching out to some of the further counties now?
I don't have to. I could. Their orders are coming in from everywhere for sure, but I prefer to stay closer to home just for the simple reason that I don't like to drive. But
Okay.
also I know my area better, which is better, and really I don't have to go out any further. But yeah, I mean everything's going crazy right now. There's no areas that I see that are slowing down at all. Crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead, guys. Oh, can we hear you guys? Hey, a little audio problem, not too bad. Hey, one thing for sure. Well, one way or the other, they're going to waive it if not. Hey, Lise, what'd you say on that? Mike, about 30% of Americans now with the pandemic are working from home. I was wondering, again, 61% of those folks say that this is probably going to continue for at least the next foreseeable future, at least another year or two. Has there been any changes we've been talking about for the last 6 months that families that are hunkering down, they've got the kids in school. Now, has there been any change to the value? For example, the basement. Here we got, basements in Michigan, daylight windows, walkout basements. Has there been any change through the appraisal world where we find more value there?
You're gonna love this, Harry. I hope you're sitting down. Are you ready for this? I am starting to be able to extract value for an in-ground pool. I have seen people paying more money now, and now we can actually substantiate it using math and actually prove that people are paying more money for these in-ground pools. And that's something I really haven't been able to do for a long time, except maybe in Northwest Livonia. But now it's like all the areas, people are just going bananas for these pools. And I believe, I don't know, but I believe there's a 1 to 2 year wait to get a pool installed right now. And
Wow.
so people are just got to do what they got to do to get their pool. So yeah, that's something that I've seen that has changed.
So you throw that out there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when it's 90 degrees out, there's a lot of value out there. But in the wintertime, you got to shut it down. There's maintenance involved. There's a lot of cost involved. But it's real interesting to see that the pandemic has changed some things. All right, Mike. So we throw in the pools. People want to be outside. They want to invite their friends and family over to keep everyone awake. Social distancing, of course, continues. But has there been, again, some interesting, there's some value there. We got pools now, backyards. How about interior? How about in
Yes.
the home?
I'm pretty sure you just dropped intrinsic value there, Harvey, which is fantastic. But yeah, there's no doubt. The stuff in the house, some of the stuff is harder to substantiate. What I mean by that is it's hard to put an actual numerical value on this stuff. If you can't prove it, you can't do it. However, you're right. When it comes to the home offices and those finished walkout basements, people are going crazy for them. I mean, you can just it's easy to see why they're doing it, but it's very hard to prove it. So a lot of times I can't really put an actual value on it. However, yes, you're right that the basements are a huge deal, and the home offices, that's no joke. I mean, it says it even in the listings. You can see it. People are putting that stuff in the listings now, like, hey, we got a home office, and then people love it. So yes, you're right about that.
Yeah, people want that extra space. Hey, we're going to get back here, just coming up against our first break. 248-539-9797. We got appraised values to talk about, buying and selling real estate. And Lisa Lawson's doing a little bit on credit. So keep it here. 97 on the ticket. We'll be right back. Back to the show. Capital Mortgage Funding is our sponsor at 1-800-LOW rate, the best mortgage banker. You can get that strong approval letter, save money if you're refinancing, do a cash out refinance. We are powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 2289, equal housing lender. Give us a call here live in the studio, 248-539-9797. Mike Tomczyk, Paramount Appraisals, joins us. Hey, guys, it's only a 1-hour show. We're going to have tons of sports all afternoon here, including the replay of the 1997 Michigan Rose Bowl game, right? All right. Against Washington, I believe. Go back. That's going to be a great one to watch. That's coming up at about noon. And of course, Pat Caputo follows us at 10 o'clock. So keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. Mike Tomczyk, buying a house. Boy, the appraisal is a huge part of this. People never want to overpay for a house, but it's nuts now. The inventory has been so low that it's continuously driving home prices up. And we've talked about some other things that'll bring some value to a home, Mike. And one of the number one things has been this pandemic has brought out is families using their basement space, converting old bedrooms or attic spaces or anything in the basement into a home office, a place for the kids to do their schoolwork, just living space in general. Are we starting to see, and you mentioned that pools now, we can actually put some numbers together and say, hey, the pools are worth money. Do you see it also in the basements and other parts of the house now?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I have always seen value in a finished basement. However, the value for the finished basement is going up. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe people want it. Maybe construction costs are up, but it's definitely going up. I mean, it's typically, we're looking probably about 25% more now for these finished basements. And when I say that, please, anyone listening, you have to understand we have to be able to substantiate, meaning we have to be able to use math in order to prove this stuff. You can't just make stuff up. And it's a lot easier to prove it now. You can see an unfinished basement versus a finished basement and the difference of the sales prices. So yes, it's definitely significant. The walkout basement's huge. I mean, we typically around 10% or 15% of your site value is the value for that, because it's usually a site premium that comes from. So yeah, definitely some value in the basements, no doubt. I'm glad you just teed me up with that one, Harry. Yeah, so it is not a dollar to dollar adjustment. That's not how appraisals are done. So it's a little public service announcement for everybody. If you spend 50 grand, you don't get 50 grand back necessarily. Okay, you're going to get back what people are willing to pay for it. And again, what I mean by that is we have different methods as appraisers, period sales analysis, regression models, and things that can tell us how much this stuff is worth on the market. So that's what we're looking to do. And it is not a dollar for dollar adjustment on, if you spend 50 grand, I'm sure the basement's awesome, but you're probably not going to get 50 grand back.
Lisa, we're talking about home improvements.
That's exactly right. And what we're really looking for is a sale of the property like your property versus a sale of a property like your property without that feature. So you can compare the two, and preferably more than two, really. We're looking for more than two, but that's the way that the most basic way you can extract the value for that. Okay, and that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, whether or not your house actually, like Harry says, you want to get that value out of everything you spent. Lisa, you spent some money recently on great home improvements. You're going to enjoy it, and you're not going anywhere. You guys made the great decision to put all the money in. So again, you could put your workout room down there, your office. You're going to enjoy it over a number of years.
This is another great question too. See, a home gym it's difficult to quantify it because they can't add home gym into a listing, and there's not really a way to search for it. Okay, so what I mean by that is if you're comparing a home with a home gym versus a home without one, there's no way really to tell where that money came from. Is someone paying for the home gym? Are they paying for the overall finished basement? So again, we'll go back to the word that Harvey used earlier is intrinsic value. So there's value in the sense that someone will perceive that it's worth more and they may be willing to buy your house for more as a result. But as far as actually valuing it in an appraisal, I would say no.
All right. Serious changes in the appraisal world, Mike, as the values continue to go up all around. Now we got new construction out there. New construction, their big hurdle has been getting the materials and getting the labor. So yeah, you're seeing it in the new construction all around Southeast Michigan, all around the country. That's what they're saying. Hey, these homes are going for, 5 to 10, maybe even 20% more than they normally would, just because the lumber shortage.
Yes, was that
Yeah, that was directed to you, Mike. Yep.
Yep. Well, there's no doubt about that. That's a completely different approach to values. What you're talking about is the cost approach. So yes, new construction homes, they're very expensive to build now. They're very expensive to buy as well. But that's a whole different ball game. Yeah, the new construction homes are definitely going for ridiculous amounts of money, and I think that is due to the construction cost.
Mike, you just said it. It's a completely different thing. So again, we don't want to compare a 2,000 or 2,500 square foot gorgeous brand new home to something that's been around for 20 to 50 years.
No, okay, no, that's a great question. So the dominating characteristics is something we're looking at when it comes to appraisal values. We're looking for the characteristics that make that home what it is. Okay, if it's on a lake, if it backs to woods, if it's on acreage, if it's new construction, that is the dominating characteristic. So we're going to want new construction homes. Maybe one that's 1 or 2 years old, you can use those as well, and then just do a depreciated cost thing for a little adjustment there. But yeah, you're not going to use it older homes to compare to new construction homes. It just doesn't work that way.
Lisa, we continue this crazy world of real estate. Again, it was spooky in there when we started in March with the COVID. We didn't know they shut it all down. We didn't know what was going to happen. But boy, oh boy, has it been just a wild year. And we see it continuing as we've continuously talked about in the show, that values are up. Families do not want to miss out on these low interest rates. I mean, now's the time to buy. But Lisa, think about all the parts that are going on. The hardworking people in real estate, you and I, we look at each other every day and it's tense out there. The title companies are working their butts off. The mortgage industry is working. They got the appraisers. They got to get going and get these appraisals done. Give us a little bit of the vibe of what's going out there in our market. Yeah, I see those pictures all over Facebook of the happy closings and stuff. But how did they get there? There's a lot of things going on just to get there. And the reason why is an appraised value comes in a little bit different. We've got to redisclose that kind of information. And again, there's disclosure laws. And more families out there are learning a little bit about what's going on in the mortgage changes that took place over the last 10 or 11 years were huge because, of course, the whole bottom fell out in the housing market in 2007, 8, and 9. So a lot of the changes are behind the scenes, a lot of disclosures and things of that nature. So again, a little salute out there. I had some changes yesterday, some last minute sellers concessions and things. And if you got enough good people working together, you can get through it and really close a transaction and make everything really nice and smooth. So it's been fun. It's exciting. And we still got a few months ahead of us. Going into Christmas season, I don't know, Lise, what do you think we're going to see in the marketplace come home buying season in December?
You have to turn that one off. You're on that one. You gotta turn that one off.
According to the National Association of Realtors, the median sales price now for resale of homes, single family homes, is 315,000. You better start saving your money out there because home values continue to go up. Again, the bright side of all this has been the low interest rate. So as home values went up 10, 20,000, maybe a little bit more than people wanted to spend over the last 12 months, those interest rates have kept housing very affordable. All right, you know what? We're coming up against our second break here. We got a lot to talk about. We got Mike Tomczyk on Paramount Appraisals. If you are selling your house, when we come back, we've got about 5 or 7 different tips that you can do to get the most value out of your home. That sounds easy. 248-539-9797. We'll be right back. Great way for clients to get moving, right? You can also add your utility bills. Get in touch with us and we can set you up. Now, more and more, there's a company out there and a couple different companies where you can add your rent payment can be reported in utilities. Does that help? Ah, that's a lot. Oh boy. Yeah, definitely
Hey,
get in touch
Harvey,
with all your mortgage
Harvey, this is a
professionals.
public service announcement because Lisa Lawson is the credit queen in our office, okay? And the fact of the matter is, you don't need to pay a credit repair company $500 to $750 to go ahead and they're going to tell you that they can do things when Lisa Lawson in our office will go ahead and counsel and advise you for free on how to go ahead and beef up your credit scores. You're not writing us a check for $500 and $750 for the advice that she can give. She's been doing it for years. We've been doing this as a service to our clients forever. And we could get results, and you're not writing us a check. But what you'll end up doing is you'll get a raise in your credit score. You'll be able to get approved for that mortgage to buy that house.
All right, let's circle back to, I'll go ahead, Lisa, finish up on the credit. Yeah, that's always great advice. 248-539-9797. Call in the show if you want to talk to us again about your credit situation. And let's circle back to the appraisal world. We got, of course, Mike Tomczyk, Paramount Appraisals. Mikey, poor curb appeal. This is hurting people. Get out there today. I think I'm going to cut the lawn one more time. I probably got about 3 or 4 more cuts before the end of the year, but bushes and trees and flowers. This is the first thing people see when they pull up, including the front door and garage doors.
It's a huge deal. What I tell people all the time is, listen, cleaning your house, there is no value. Okay. Cleaning the outside of your house, there's no value. However, an appraiser is a human being like anybody else. And when they go there, there's a thing called a condition rating. Okay. And if you're solidly in one, it's no big deal. But if you're on the border, you could really make your house look like it's in better condition than it actually is. So I just recommend to you, keep it nice and clean. Try and impress the appraiser like as if you're trying to sell your house.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, Mike, you got that, and you threw it out there. It's a C1, a C2, a C3, and a C4. What's the best one? Is it a C4?
A C1 is a new construction.
Oh, that's
home.
the best. There you go.
Yeah, C1 is new construction, never been lived in. C2 is the one that's been completely renovated. And when I say completely, I mean completely renovated, like down to the studs, everything's brand new. C3 is your typical really good condition home. And then C4 is the most common. That's your average, some outdates, things like that.
Well, here's a couple things you can do to change your house from a C4, at least maybe to a C3, is clean up the bushes and trees, get out there, maybe paint the front porch, the doors, the trim, make that front porch the Taj Mahal. When you pull up from a distance of the Taj Mahal, you can see the beauty way before you get near the front doors. And then also, Mike, you walk in and now we've got the decluttering and the attributes that you can really do to show off your house to, again, as you mentioned, Mike, change that house from a C4 to a C3 by really cleaning things up, and even a fresh coat of paint might even help.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, if there's any appraisers listening right now, they're going to probably be. Listen, I'm not saying that if you clean your house, you're going from a C4 to a C3. Let's make sure we get that out there, okay? However, again, an appraiser is a human being. So when you go there, if you make it look really, really good, and it looks like you take care of it and you maintain it, that all goes into it. If you're reading what we call a UAD definition of what a C3 is, it's about maintenance. So you really want to make sure it looks like it's maintained. Hopefully it is maintained too.
Yeah, then of course you're putting your money into your kitchens and bath because that's where you're going to get the most amount of value. And we see a lot of brand new appliances. You throw the stainless steel, you throw in the quartz countertops now, shower door, shelving, lighting. These are the things that also can get you over the hump, Mike, a little bit. Maybe twist the appraiser a little bit into, all right, maybe this is a 290 house versus a 280 house.
Right. It's that's exactly right. It's an overall condition rating. In fact, I'm glad we're talking about this right now because a lot of people out there think that everything is itemized, right? I got a new furnace, I got a new roof, I got a new bathroom. And then how much value do I get for that? Okay, that's not how this works. It's an overall condition and an overall quality rating. And that's how we're doing them now ever since 2010. So everyone out there that's listening, keep that in mind. It's not, hey, I did the furnace. How much value do I get for that? That's not how it works. It's overall condition.
A new $15,000 roof does not give you $15,000 in value. But if it sells for more money, then that could help the people down the street because now you've sold and now your neighborhood's worth more.
Yeah, that's how it's done, folks. That's how values increase. You sell your house for more. By the way, how do you sell your house for more? If the appraisals are retro and they're coming in light, how does the value increase in an area? I mean, we know how that happens is people bringing cash to the table. So you definitely love it when your neighbor sells their house for more and someone brings cash to the table.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want a house and you're willing to spend 10, 15,000 over to get your offer accepted, that's what's going on out there right now. And it's very difficult. Lisa, Harry, we know we have a lot of buyers out there. They're trying to get into their first home, but they're realizing, boy, it's just a bear. You've got to overbid. And when we come back, we'll talk to you about having all that money together, the funds to close, and being able to close in 30 or 45 days. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket, 248-539-9797. what a gorgeous day out there. Get out there and enjoy yourself. Call Capital Mortgage Funding. Get that approval. Talk to real people who can teach you all about home ownership. I've had some unbelievable first-time home buyers this year. It's really interesting. At least you'll also vouch for us here. Again, we got to tune to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show as we give you another 20 minutes here. Of course, we got Pat Caputo coming up with sports just after us, so keep it here. But at least it's been exciting. Like almost half my buyers, they really got it together. They've got their money. They're ready to close. They've been looking. They've got a solid plan. And then I'm still getting some first-time home buyers. Boy, I had a guy almost yesterday. We were going to make an offer. He doesn't have the money right now. He doesn't have the knowledge or the money. He doesn't have the confidence. He's got to really step back and get some of this confidence behind him and learn what he's doing. Yeah, how this pace continues with first-time home buyers. Just get your knowledge bank behind you. Housing is very affordable. And what I've been doing lately is giving a couple different approval letters. That way they can make their offer accordingly. Also, hey, I want to throw out a shout out there. My buddy James Horn out there at the Keller Williams Luxury Office in Birmingham. Of course, Birmingham Seaholm did take it on the chin last night. Clarkston all over them. Hey, but nonetheless, you can go pick up your free pumpkin. My buddy James Horn said he's going to give it away. Limited supply, so get out there, Keller Williams on Old Woodward in Birmingham. Check it out. And also all the hardworking real estate agents out there. Just want a quick salute to you because a lot of, as I mentioned earlier in the show, a lot of tense things go on. But boy, oh boy, Lise, when you finally get to the closing table, nothing but smiles from everyone involved. All right, we're going to come back to Mike Tomczyk here just in a minute. My mom was talking to me last night. Now she doesn't want me to give her away her 70. She's going to be 79 this year, so she's kicking it. But they own their condo free and clear. And she said, Harvey, you don't talk enough about us. I said, what, you elderly people? And she's, oh, you can call me that. So had a thing going on with my mom last night, and we mentioned she owns her place free and clear. And I wanted to throw it out there that there's two different ways that you can really set yourself up, Harry. I'm not an expert on reverse mortgages, but we have people in our office that can really, so if you got your folks out there, they've got lots of equity in their home, they need some more cash flow, definitely call Capital Mortgage Funding. This is a slower process, the reverse mortgage, because you got to build, again, that confidence together and make sure that you're sharing all the information. But for anyone out there 62 and over with equity in your homes, lots of equity in your homes, the older you are, the more equity you can take out. You can do a reverse mortgage and not make a house payment. For more details, call Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. As we circle back to Mike Tomczyk. Mike, last night, I know you got the kids, you had it going on. I think you were like bathing everyone in the house there. But finally, you were able to go on your back deck with a bottle of wine. And boy, it looked like across the lake, it was the biggest party I've ever saw.
Yeah.
What's going on over there?
It really was. I sent you that video. It was really loud too. It smelled like I was on the hill at China. It was pretty sweet. Yeah, it was definitely a fine evening. No doubt.
Well, that's a lot better. Hey, Mike, you go out in your backyard and you got from across the lake, you've got free entertainment going on in there. We just urge everyone to take a look at home ownership. Again, the younger generation is definitely getting out there. Lisa, I see that they're going to keep pace with what's going on and just take advantage of the affordability with these low interest rates. Yeah, all these
Yeah,
homes
Harvey, you
out
talk
there.
about interest rates, and everybody
Yeah,
wants to know, are they going down? Are they going up? Are they staying the same? Well, those are the only three things that could happen with interest rates, right? Up, down, the same. Right now, you're talking about a volatility in rates and volatility because of certain things happening. First of all, there's a presidential election coming up in 3 weeks. All right. You're talking about the COVID crisis going on. How long will that last? Unemployment, things of that nature. If you're asking me, if somebody said to me, Harry, what are you betting? Where are you going to put your money on the interest rate market? And I'm not a betting guy, but if somebody made me put $1 down on up, down, or staying the same, you would obviously, to me, it's obvious to me that you would have to say that rates are going to start climbing after the election. And people are going to say, Harry, why? You're crazy. This COVID crisis isn't going to go away. The economy is stalled right now. As a matter of fact, some people think it's bad. But right now you're talking about a 15-year fixed at 2.5 and 30-year rates around the 3% range. Lisa said the word unprecedented. These are unprecedented times, unprecedented rates. So if you're looking to buy a home, you should take a look at more seriously. More serious sellers are selling during the wintertime. And if you're looking to refinance, what are you waiting for? They're not going down to zero. You've heard that many times in the last few months. They're just not going to go down to zero. So I implore everybody
Harry,
out
too.
there to seriously take a look.
And by the way, if you bought your house 2 years or more ago and you refinance, you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you find out the value of that home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
So
Just
don't wait.
the inventory is so low out there, Mike, and it's just we just constantly see it. The overbidding has been nonstop. And again, there's volatility in the marketplace, as Harry just mentioned. You got the presidential election coming up in the next few weeks. Also, the COVID crisis. What's going to happen with the case count, vaccine trials, the mortality numbers? This is all still scary stuff out there, as we see here. And I saw it on the front page today, as even the numbers here in Michigan have gone up a little bit recently. Hopefully this fall leading into winter, it won't be this crazy and we can get a hold of things and maybe a vaccine around for 2021. It's just a lot of uncertainty on that side of the marketplace. But what's not going to change is these homes. There's only so many homes and it's always about supply and demand. Mike, that definitely falls into some of this. You mentioned it earlier. Appraisers aren't really forecasting. You can't forecast what the value is going to be in the future.
No, we're not allowed to. And I'm glad we're not forced to do that because no one has a crystal ball. You have no idea what's actually going to happen, which is the reason that it's structured the way it is. But supply and demand is what you said. I mean, that is the basic economic principle that drives everything. And it's absolutely the factor right now. I mean, there is no houses out there. Every single market that I have done in the last couple of months, I'm checking that box on page 1 that says shortage. I mean, there is a shortage, no doubt.
I ran some hard numbers last night. I want to throw them out as we're getting up to the end of the show here. But just like I was saying, I had the client on the phone last night was my mother. And I said, hey, Mom, what if you took $75,000 and then bought your car? So on a 30-year mortgage, I did some rough number for it. It was, again, this is not a reverse mortgage, an old school mortgage. She says, I don't want to do that. What if I just took some cash out and I wanted to buy a vehicle? On a 30-year mortgage, her payment was about $337. Well, she said, that's what I'm paying for the car now. But the car only cost $30,000, and that left her with another $40,000 of funds that she can do what she needs to do with, whether or not she wants to put it away for a rainy day. So anyone out there, you really got to call right now. These are unprecedented times, Harry, when we're seeing greatest opportunity because so much built-in equity in your home.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan, everybody, and I couldn't hear it because, Harvey, I'm getting up there. I'm not quite as old as your mother, but I'm getting up there.
You're not elderly.
I would never advocate for anybody to pay a car with their mortgage. You're going to you're going to string your car along for 30 years. Everybody out there, I'm not an advocate of that. Pay off your toxic credit cards, do home improvements, add value and quality to your life. But don't buy a car 30 and finance it for 30 years. That's just me talking. I'm old school like that. Also, unprecedented times mean, you know what? COVID's here. They're going to have a vaccine, whether it's a year from now, 18 months from now, whatever that is. That's going to apply upward pressure on mortgage rates. Okay, so good news is we're going to have a cure, hopefully, and a vaccine for COVID. Bad news is rates could go up. So listen, that's why I'm telling people right now, if you're looking to buy a home or you're looking to refinance your home, Call Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
All righty, Mike, we got a few minutes left. Give us a couple helpful tips out there for families that are selling their home. You're going to go do the appraisal on the house. What can they do really recently in this year, what can they do to get that additional value out of it?
You know, it's kind of a difficult question, just in the sense that every market, we're supposed to do things specific, right? It's not a regional thing. It's not even necessarily a city, right? Like, we're doing a specific market. So each market values different things differently. I always like to use the Northwest Livonia things, that's where I'm from. And there's certain things there, like a pool, that will definitely add value, no doubt about it. But I will tell you that the easiest or the most common thing you can do to increase the value is you're looking to get the home to be in the best condition possible. You want it to be in the best condition. It allows us to lean towards the higher end of the spectrum of other homes, and that's how we can justify it. This home's in great shape. It's one of the better homes. And when I say homes, comparable homes, homes that are similar in size, quality, style, and dominating characteristics. So condition, to answer your question specifically, make sure your home's in good condition.
There you go. You heard from the best here. Anyone who's listening, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. As we're wrapping up here, want to urge you to call Capital, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Again, call us, find out how you can really help yourself with a cash out refinance, maybe just a rate and term refinance, and drop that term down, maybe to a 10 or a 15-year fixed rate. Thank you guys for all coming on. Of course, want to shout out to Lisa Lawson, who's always great. You look great, Lisa. Harry Glanz hanging in there. And we could hear you loud and clear. You did a great job. Mike Tomczyk, Paramount Appraisals. Quick shout out, Roberto Beauchesne. Thank you very much for producing the show. Keep it on 97.1 Ticket. We got Michigan football at noon. Pat Caputo coming up with sports. Have a wonderful day.